I know. Okay, so I'm gonna stop. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and actually not Instagram, Twitter, and the other Facebook. Do your thing.
Hi, Twitter. Hi, Instagram. Hi, Facebook. Hi, the other Instagram. Hi, everybody. Yeah, that was a terrible Tally impression. Um, my name is Prophet, and you are now rocking with the Oakland Poetry Slam. That's right, the Oak Town, Oak Town Poetry Slam, where we like to keep it lit. And before I get into who our amazing feature is and the amazing poets that will be touching the stage for tonight, um, I would like to let you know about who makes these shows happen. You know who makes these shows happen? Viewers like you. So today's show is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon. Over the last year, these monthly donors have been holding it down and ensuring that we are able to artistically and financially support the poets, artists, and educators that we bring on our virtual stages. None of this would be possible or sustainable without your continued support. So, specifically, or as us ignorant people say, specifically, we want to thank our patrons, in particular, Alice Nami, Melody Montgomery, Stephanie Yaboa, Renee Edmonds, Emily Chow, and Kayla Lilly for being regulars. I also want to give a special shout out to Jessica Kozachick for sponsoring one of our weekly workshops, and a special, extra special thanks. And if I have your consent, a really big hug to Alice Graham and Rebecca Abraham for pledging $100 a month in support of our venue, the Allen Bluford Center. Our average donation is $11 a month. That means that for less than the price of a Netflix subscription, here Netflix is going up, so that may not be accurate anymore. But for less than the price of a Netflix subscription, you can support a global literary and performing arts movement. If you enjoy what you are seeing, or just love the arts, or believe in reparations for the third world, aka the Global South, head over to patreon.com/Rich Oak Events. So now that I have said that, I have rules. I know. Oakland and the people who run it, we're not the biggest fans of having rules, but we found that they actually work. So poets, you have 3 minutes to share whatever you want, but you also get a 10-second grace period. Points will be lost after that grace period. At 4 minutes, you will be muted. So you have 3 minutes and 10 seconds to speak your piece. After that, it'll get progressively awkward. There are no props, no musical accompaniment, and no costumes. The costume slam was in October. Sorry, you just missed it by like 2 months. Um, and the top five poets move on to round two. So that means that everybody that'll touch our list today or touch our stage is moving on to round two. Judges, you also have rules. Um, so for judges, you are judging between a 0 and a 10, a zero point 0 and a 10.0. And like, I'm not the best at fractions or decimals, but you can throw them in there somewhere. A 0 is essentially the worst shit that you've ever heard. It's like, you know, a 0 is watching the January 6th, 2021 um, insurrection that was going down. It's like you see your whole world burning right in front of you and you can't do nothing about it. A 10 is like, it's just amazing. It's like everything that a 10 is like Ice Cube's It Was a Good Day. It was like mama cooked breakfast with no hog. You got to holler at your crush that usually don't give you the time of day. You whoop some ass in basketball. Your favorite teams won. Like everybody in your family and all your friends are safe. There was like no no patriarchy, no homophobia, no sexism, no racism. Just like it was like the greatest thing ever. So essentially, there's not a whole lot of zeros and not a whole lot of tens. Um, Somebody said that they found the insurrection quite entertaining. I didn't, yo. It made me nervous. It felt like a 1940s lynching in 2021. It was just wild, just wild. But as I said, there's not going to be a whole lot of zeros, not going to be a whole lot of tens. We will have a sacrificial poet. So I ask that any poet that touches the stage after the sacrifice, if you like them more, score higher, or score less if you like them less. And yeah, there's this thing called score creep. Let's not do that. Let's like totally not do that because it's unfair to the people who start the slam that will get lower scores. And it's also unfair to the people who go later in the slam because, yeah, we want fairness. We want consistency. Audience, you know, I'm light skinned. So God made me pompous enough to think that I can tell someone what to do in their own house. But yes, I am that pompous. So I got rules for you too. Yes, you. I want you to like, share, and subscribe to all of our socials. But specifically or pacifically, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Oakland Slam. Well, on Facebook at Oakland Poetry Slam. Comment on our feed. Let the poets know how much you love their poems. Be way more enthusiastic than you would be in person at a slam. But also know freedom of speech is not the same as freedom from accountability. So what that means is say as much as you want to say, how you want to say it. But if you are saying something disrespectful or out of pocket, there might be someone that takes exception to what you have to say and will call you on it. So, just be aware of that. And now that I said that, we have an amazing feature for tonight's show, and that is the incredible Bambi Walker. Let's give it up for the feature. But before we get to the feature, we have three amazing, incredible, awesome poets that are gonna flip your wig, blow your wig all the way back. And they are in this order. And I want y'all to cheer for each name, please. Kimberly J.
Woo!
Woo!
Vita Manzo.
Woo!
Diana Medina.
Woo!
Sweet. Oh, this is going to be a really lit slam, and I'm super excited. So now that I've told you who's all going to be performing and essentially in what order they're going to be performing, are we ready to get started?
Yeah.
Gang.
Yeah, y'all sound like me after I just smoked an eighth of some like 38% THC weed. Can we try that one more again? Are y'all ready to start the slam?
Woo!
Yeah.
Okay, now y'all sound like me if I did cocaine. Better. I kid. So before we get this first round started, we have a sacrifice. Need a sacrificial poet. We didn't work out who's going to be the sacrifice for today, but screw it. I guess I'll go. So, sacrificial poet for tonight's slam. Give it up for Prophetess.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Some days I sit and think about the lives we lead. On success, I used to read until my eyes would bleed, and I proceed to heed these words of wisdom. So God willing, I'ma thrive off this composition. I had to live rough, so I discard my feelings and hard decisions of the scars of living. These heartless villains are hard to witness. Marred conditions, the Lord's precision, all had barred my visions. I pretend to be mute because hurt crippled my tongue. From pain, I would run because a nigga was young. Kicking the drugs, I declared that I was sick of the thugs. I stay up late to pray. I'd never fall a victim of slugs. When I was 10, my pops told me about the bees and the birds. He taught me how to be a man by never speaking a word. I live in the past, I die in the present. My words last, so when I'm gone, you be feeling my presence, but y'all ain't ready for it. I hurt myself till I came to grips that I was losing control. And that's what failure and constant stressing could do to the soul. I tried to hide it. There's no use because I can't lie to myself. I drew conclusions until I found I was fighting myself. I'm going to just leave it there. Thank you. All right. So judges, this is probably the longest I'm going to give you to give somebody a score. So please get your scores into our scorekeeper. If I'm not mistaken, that is Colin, right? A keeper of scores?
The keeper of scores, indeed.
Okay, indubitably. So keeper of scores, please send your scores to that individual. And to start our show, let's see. Okay, I haven't got the score yet. So to start our show, I'm going to give the order again. So if I say in the hole, that means you're not up next, or the person that's going to be after the next person, that means that you're going to be third up to the stage. If I say on deck, that doesn't mean that you're about to approach the stage right now, but that you will be next after the next person I call. If I say being born, that means that like you about to start, not now, but right now. So in the hole is Diana Medina. On deck is Vita Manzo. But coming up to the stage, being born right now, is Kimberly J. Woo!
Yeah.
Come on.
Mama Man. If a dry jelly is $2.98 and a loaf of Hawaiian bread is $4, then how much bail money will I need when I kill everyone in my house for eating all the goddamn bread and jelly in 5 minutes? Black Mama Man. If a Black mama has two 17-year-old Black boys, what is the probability that one of them will come home in a body bag in the next 5 years? If son A leaves Ferguson at 3:00 p.m. traveling 60 miles per hour, and son B leaves Baltimore at 5:00 p.m. traveling 50 miles per hour, both driving to Florida, at what time and which morgue will their bodies be delivered to when their music and Black boy joy inspires a stand your ground tango? Better yet, what is the cost of a funeral times 2 if the police pull them over? If 6 out of 10 people have math anxiety, then how many Black women out of 10 have murdered baby anxiety? See, everyone says that Black women can't math, but we have been Black mama mathing since the beginning of time. They have been long divisioning us since Africa was too valuable to keep as a whole. See, we get reduced down like fractions, told we're not equivalent, compared to and found wanting against each other, even though we have the same common denominator. Then we get broken down like quadratic equations. Our square roots are cut in half. Our ancestral variables are left unknown. We're always left to solve for the why. If distance equals rate times time, and the rate of Blacks killed by cops is 9 times more than everyone else, and how distant are we from legalized lynching? So Black women are the most educated in the US, but being a Black mama provides more of a specialized education. See, Black mama philosophy. If I let my son play outside with a toy gun, there are no news cameras around to see it. When they shoot him, is it still murder or does it become self-defense? We already know which harsh truths everyone ignores until someone not Black validates us. Is it possible that some people are just genetically predisposed to hate? How free is our will when our fate is decided by our melanin? And what is the meaning of Black lives when so many people don't think that we matter? Black mama man. If a jar of jelly is $2.98 and a loaf of Hawaiian bread is $4, but I'm too scared to let my kids go to the grocery store, then exactly how likely am I just delaying the inevitable?
Woo! Give it up for the poet. Woo! All right. It's still kind of early in the slam. I'll accept it for now. So thank you for sharing that poem, and thank you for rocking our stage, Kimberly. The sacrificial poet, moi, received a 23.8. Give it up for the poet. Don't worry about the score. Give it up for the poet. And on deck is going to be Diana Medina. But coming up to the stage right now, and remember, judges, like I need you to, give me them scores ASAP as quickly as you can. But coming up to the stage right now is Vita Manzo. Woo!
Gang, 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 gang. I know that's right. Let's go.
You hold your joint out of the passenger side window and you check your makeup in the visor mirror and you say, "Hi, woman in the visor mirror. Hi, pretty trans girl. Who told you could go out like that, like a mother's envy wrapped up in a pretty green bow. But hey, girl, you're going out for you. You're going out for probably the last time, you say, the last time you'll find yourself in this dress, with these shoes, with that clutch, because what's the point? You don't want to be seen or perceived here. You fantasize about being seen through a stained glass window, or maybe be seen smoking a joint in the light blue Nova instead of a Honda or some shit. Tonight, girl, you go out. You go out there, you go out and make night day again. You go out and be seen. You go out and burn piercingly bright. You go out and stay alive. Thank you.
Oh! Yeah.
Woo! Thank you so much for sharing your poem. I can't say that I've seen you touch our stage before. Is this your first time?
Hi, sorry, I didn't mean to click off. Yes, this is my first time. Hi, everyone.
Yes. We love first timers. Please come back. So give it up
Okay.
give it up for first times.
Woo! First timer.
Thank you so much. Y'all don't know how much this means to me. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I am super excited. We got first timers that didn't even know it. Like, awesome. So our previous poet, Kimberly J, received a 27.7. Give it up for the poet. Wow!
Let's fucking go. Come on.
Woohoo!
All right. So before I call the last poet of the first round up to the stage, I would like to let y'all know about some of the cool stuff that we do as a crew and as an organization that is somewhat of a staple in the Bay Area. We have writing workshops at 7 p.m. before all of our shows, including this one. Today's workshop was led by Nicole, who honestly brought me back. I'm probably gonna write a poem that's like a response to Ahmad's back in the days when I was young. I'm not a kid anymore, but some days I sit and wish I was a kid again, because she had us writing about our elementary and middle school crushes and stuff. Like, I ain't thought about them in forever, yo. But yeah, it was such a dope and nostalgic prompt. But you can always catch a great writing workshop led by one of our organizers, or led by the feature of the slam every before every show at 7 p.m. via Zoom, and we publicly post the Zoom links for the writing workshops. So please do come. Some of the poetry that you have heard in previous slams was written in one of our writing workshops. So even if you don't see yourself as a poet or a creative writer, if you see yourself as somewhat of a rapper or MC, those writing prompts will still help you. If you see yourself as somewhat of an author, those writing prompts will help you. So please check it out. And you can get that information at Oakland Slam, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Oakland Poetry Slam. And now that I have flapped my gums for an inordinate amount of time, I would like to bring it back to the action and bring up to the stage the last poet of the first round. Give it up for Diana.
Hello. Can everybody hear me okay?
We hear you fine.
All right, cool. I've never read this poem out loud before. This is gonna be fun. It is called Bilingual Coochie. I speak Spanish and English. I grew up speaking both. English at school, where I was thinking and writing and learning. Spanish at home, where I was haciendo caso porque papá always said de la puerta para adentro, esta casa es México. I navigated the world this way, keeping the languages separate, only feeling free to express myself on occasion, using Spanish only to respond, never to think or write or ponder. And this led me to a startling confession that at the ripe old age of 38, I had never had sex in Spanish. Never until I met this one dude who only spoke Spanish and I had no other choice. When this dude looked at me, displayed out in the open, I could see him eating me with his eyes. And he would say, ay, que rica to himself between bites, not to me. My body rejoiced and my brain exploded at the experience of having sex in Spanish. Having sex in my mother tongue awakened a very primal side of me. I felt a warmth pulsating in my lower hemisphere, and it became clear that my bilingual coochie has a mind of her own, and she had taken over this never-ending committee meeting inside of my brain, and the rest of the members present, emotions, logic, anxiety, project manager, higher self, all of them gave in to her strong-arm leadership and followed. And my bilingual coochie, in turn, followed this dude through a series of Mayan ancestral sexual maneuvers that finally made me understand that art and architecture is found inside of twisted limbs, and there's mathematics when minds merge, and that my song and that my orgasms sing a song when they speak to the cosmos. Even the texts with him are poetry. When they are in Spanish, te voy a dar, me gusta como me das, ya sabes como te quiero, bañadita y mojadita. It all sets my bilingual coochie on fire. I have encountered no dudes who can do that. This dude texts me things that sound like reggaeton lyrics, and that makes me want to do kegels in the middle of my workday. My bilingual coochie wants my fingers to respond, but my fingers are busy taking notes in this long ass meeting, and so she clenches and waits. This dude can awaken the sex pot in me with just a few simple words and sentences. That sex in Spanish is never about what you say, it's always about how you say it and how close something is to something wholesome, and then how dirty you can make that metaphor become. Saying mix my masa, I make good tamales sounds one way compared to báteme la masa y te hago tamales bien ricos. I've been with some dudes who say simple, dirty things in English, but it never works the same way. Nothing that they say is ever firm or memorable. Pero para esto se necesita un macho. One who will show me exactly how he wants me because he knows how to eat with his hands. One who stares at me and strategizes how he will devour me the same way my abuelitas would do to the plate of their frijoles when they would use tortillas to scoop it up with their hands. In moments like this, the wokest, most feminist thing I can do is surrender to my bilingual coochie's desires, to the pleasures of my abuelitas, to the pleasures my abuelitas never had. If I lay with the sorts of beasts that hurt them, perhaps I will rejoice. Perhaps they will rejoice when they see me and how I can tame them, or better yet, how they can tame me, how they can have the sort of swag that finally makes a woman like me submit in a society that tradition never could. When I have sex in Spanish, I am put in situations where my pussy is dating one guy and my mind is fucking another, and I am pleasantly surprised to see that both of these guys are in the same man, and whether it's love or just lust, siempre quiero más. Thank you. Sorry if that was a...
Give it up for Diana. Holy shit. I've never wanted to learn Spanish more in my life. So the previous poet, Vita, received a 26.1. Give it up for the poet.
Woo!
Fuck that score, though.
More like
Yeah.
it. So I have a couple of organizational announcements that I'd like to make before I go on to the amazing feature that we have for tonight. But the most important announcement that I have is honestly the absolute most heartbreaking announcement. We received word roughly like a week or so ago that our home venue and a place that has been home to us for basically the last 2 years, Luca's Tap Room and Lounge in downtown Oakland on the corner of Broadway and Grand Avenue, is closing down at the end of this month. So I believe January 29th will be their last day of operation. And like, this is devastating, yo, because it's one of the best venues I've ever been to. Even if we never ran a show there, it was still one of my favorite places to be because of all the hip hop shows that they've had, because of the great food that they have, because of the great drinks that they have. Hell, I was just over there earlier today, kicking it, eating me a nice, cheeseburger and had a nice little drink. So I fully encourage and implore you, please, 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 beat feet and get your ass to Luca's Tap Room and Lounge in downtown Oakland, because it has been a staple of our community since 2004. And it is through no fault of their own that they have to close. Basically, I believe their rent doubled or tripled and necessitated them closing. But I do believe that the owners and organizers of that bar, of that venue, will find, or will basically have another great space, or will create another great space. But while they are there in the physical form at Luca's, please, please, please give your support, because so many changes in Oakland since 2004, and I never thought Luca's would have to be one of them. So please support our home venue, because Oakland Slam was able to grow so much and so well, being a part of their lineup for their monthly events. So I'll give a huge shout out to everybody at Luca's Tap Room, Maria, Rick, all the bar staff, all the servers. I love y'all. We appreciate y'all for the great space that you have provided us and the community as a whole. So I did want to just give a shout out to let it be known that our home is closing down at the end of the month. And they need our support until they go. One last announcement before I bring one of the most amazing poets up to the stage, is that basically, for more information about our shows, please follow us on IG and Twitter at Berkeley Slam, at Oakland Slam, and at Rich Oak Alchemy. If you want to know what cool events that we have going on, sometimes we do special events that are completely different than everything that we already do, completely different than the 7 shows a month that we already have. So the best way to stay informed is to follow us on IG and Twitter at Berkeley Slam, at Oakland Slam, and at Rich Oak Alchemy. It's good for your health. It's good for everybody. And with that said, I have the honor, nay, privilege, to bring an amazing poet up to the stage. And by the way, the last poet of the first round, Diana, received a 27.3. Give it up for the poet. Woo! Give it up for Diana. I got adult ADHD, so excuse me if I'm all over the place. But basically, our feature for tonight is someone, I'm gonna give you a hood bio and then I'm gonna read your official bio. It's someone where, I remember the first time I saw them perform, I thought, I wonder what they have to say. Such cool hair, great, great bout fit. I'm really curious to see what was about to come out their mouth. And then after they got off the stage, I was like, humna, 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 humna. I was just stuck on stupid. And every time I hear or see them perform, I literally have been stuck on stupid ever since. Jaw hits the floor, tongue rolls out my mouth. Just wow. I want to be that intelligent and express myself that well one day. It'll never happen for me, but they always inspire me with their words. So our feature, who is like just too dope for words, is a beautiful individual named Bambi, who is a Black queer writer from Atlanta, Georgia. I didn't even know that. They identify as a person who sometimes can put words together well enough to win slams, write books, and just generally talk their shit. I love it here. I truly love it here. They double as the Menace, dancing by themselves at the club, yelling, "Get into it!" And they are the author of Accidentally Ordered an Espresso. So this amazing poet, writer, and artist goes by the name of Bambi Walker. And I want you to show maximum love, like I'm Steve Harvey. Show maximum love for Bambi Walker.
Yes.
Ooh, what's up, y'all? Right, that was so sweet, Prophet. Oh my God, that was sweet. All right, so I'm Bambi. I'm gonna start. I don't know. I'm gonna start by reading a really old poem that I wrote as like a self-love poem. I don't do a lot of those, but that's kind of been the vibe of 2022, is trying to get some self-love, and I encourage you to do the same. It goes after this Judy Grant poem, very feminist gay poet, and it's called She Who. So I made it, I transed it into they who, because I'm they, whatever. Okay. She who resurrected as they who continues, they who is everything, they who can never be nothing. They as in singular, they as in just me, motherfucker, me alone. They who is present, they who presents themselves as they who is gift, they who continues when they can never be stopped, they who exist within this world, they who fights back, they who creates their own name, they who is their own mother and father, they who raised themselves, who taught themselves to love, they who is deserving of love, who birthed love from their fingertips, who knows nothing, says nothing, sees nothing without love, they who has much to teach, they who is tired of being hot, teacher. Fight them, I dare you. They who is stronger than you. They who can and will whoop that ass in a poem. They who is small but mighty. They who grows like a forest and like a tree can be chopped. They whose bark is made of bite. They who continues to grow, continues to be everything, continues to be present, to create, to love. Fight them. They who will continue to fight the fuck back. Oh, yeah, I have never read that poem
Go,
before.
Bambi. Come on.
Never read that poem before. I just found it. I was like, oh, that would be, I mean, for a feature, that would be a nice way to start a feature, by hyping myself up when I'm like not feeling well. Anyways, yeah, so that was that. I'm gonna read some excerpts from a book that I am about to come out with in a couple months. So stay tuned for that, but here's a little snippet of some poems that'll be in there. Yeah, someone's like, Nicole said, a second book, yeah, a second book. Yeah, so I'm gonna read a couple poems from that, and then I'll do a couple slam pieces, and then I'll get out of your hair. Okay. This is the thing, when you do slams or like are featuring from home, you could get comfortable and you could just not know what you're about to read. Okay. Ode to the Weekend by SZA, sat by window. I promised to never write tree poems, trees green with envy, the only thing pushed by wind. SZA makes sonnets for side chicks, for the trees, blown by the leftover wind. My body is much like a tree, brown and green at the head, I don't have green hair anymore, but that's what it was at the time. Okay. Brown and green at the head, structured to be shined upon tree energy. As in, you'll always be walking beneath me. As in, there's already so many poems written about me. As in, I am what keeps you breathing. As in, long, genderless grace. Like, why do you keep cutting me down? Because you want something plain, lifeless, flat, white. Okay, that's that one. Then this one doesn't have a name, but it is what it is. Must remember not to trauma response myself into someone who is not me. Must remember I am worth the wait. I am worth the moments in between walls and comfort. It may take me a while to get there, but I promise my smile is worth sticking around for. My bliss is worth staying for. I know right now I may sit too quiet and take too long to open myself up to the possibility of falling into a good thing, a love thing. But love me in patience. Don't play with me. Yeah, okay. So now that we did that, now that we did little book promotion, let me get into some slam pieces because that's what I came here for. All right. Boop, boop, boop. Can y'all tell that I was high before this? All right. Here's
You're suited.
Zooted. I'm prepared. Let's do this one. This one's new. I just wrote this and they'll probably go into the book too, mind you. Okay. Listening to Jajan after a breakup. Old acrylics messing up your grieving process. We spill wine over how I was the bad guy. And so was Prince Charming. What are morals when you would do anything for the things you love and if you are the thing you wish to love? I miss wearing dresses. I miss existing and existing without you. I'm obsessing over some dick lately. Or the way this dick has a deep voice and makes us coffee in the morning and makes me appreciate Dejan a whole lot more. I am the rodeo clown and clowns are respectable. I'll ride like I was meant for it. I'll look you in the eyes like I was meant for it. We are but the hurt parts that find each other in a laugh, and that is dangerous. I keep thinking about what I may never find again. I never know the longevity of never. I feel forever with a fear. I feel forever and see your face, which is to say, I fear your face and I fear my own cruelty. I am the bad guy and so is Prince Charming. It is easy to make myself a person, and what does that make you but a thing that happens to me? And idealizing can be the sin that someone died for. You are the sin I'm willing to infect over, and that is not saying much. I've infected over more and less, but it all feels the same to my body. You remind me of silence. You remind me of the quiet in between the lightning strikes, the tinge of singed earth and how we think will exist there with our hair standing upright. I am young and I am older than I thought I'd be, meaning plans were made without me, meaning I was made ahead of my consciousness. And I think of that often enough. I think of how I am your age and I can't relate to you. You are multiple people, by the way. You refers to everyone who has touched me appropriately. Dejan talks of definitive truth, talks of a subjective understanding. Sometimes I can have my own perspective and static can overcome us with sincerity. I miss wearing dresses. I miss being a wind. I miss flowing. I don't let go of very many things. Or I let go of a lot of things. I just don't remember them. Either way, you might drop me faster than I'll let my fingers unravel from around you. I'll change my mind a lot. I'll change my mind faster than I've convinced you of a reality. I'll change as soon as that. Trust, that will be uncomfortable and jarring. You will never know me. But I have loved more things than I could witness firsthand. They live in my fingertips. They live in corners and I won't tell you about them. Do I expect you to listen to this? Yes. Yes, I fucking do. So catch me overthinking every comma. Catch me against the gate, begging and pleading for a connection that feels the most bit familiar. Crack open another bottle. Listen to Dijon after a breakup. Wear a fucking dress. Okay. A lot of my poems are like
Dang.
a lot of my poems like are coming from the place of me figuring out identity and gender and like sex and being Black and like all of this stuff that goes into like living and breathing and figuring stuff out. And what I realized lately is I may never figure any of this shit out, but I will write poems along the way. And I think that poem was just me like being like, I was so masked before, but that poem was about me being like, you know what? I'm gonna wear the dress and I'm gonna wear the wigs and I'm gonna, you know, show out and still figure things out. And we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, speaking of breakups, let me do a little breakup poem because I write a lot of fuck you breakup poems. So let me do that. And then I think I'll be done after that. Like I think that'll be it. All right. Ooh, but where is it? Ooh, or maybe I don't have it. Oh no, I do. There's no way I don't. Okay. There's a little bit of singing to this one, and then I'm done. Okay. I want to break free. I want to break free. I want to break free from your lies. You're so self-satisfied. I don't need you. God knows I've dealt with this before. Many times, actually, too many times possibly. I know how it goes. You stand there, cocky smile, blue eyes filled with self-assurance, assuming I won't walk my Black ass right out the door, and I probably won't. Oh my God, can y'all hear my roommates? Anyways, and I probably won't. You've said that love ties us to the bed, locks us in the room, throws away the key. We call on each other when no one else is available, which is to say, we want to be wanted even if it isn't real. We are looking at each other the way we want to be looked at. When I've been pulling away, you say, our love has us chained together. And maybe you can love someone as a reflection, like a mirror, like loving them because you need to be loved, and still we are falling backwards, finding ourselves in between lines of erasure, investigating which parts of ourselves are best left misunderstood. You say, nobody will ever love me like you do. Say your love fills this room. I say, and only this room. You stand there, cocky smile, pull me closer, whisper always like a slur. How we compromise our palms for this. How much of me must I lose to you? How much sacrifice equates to love? I love you by buckling under pressure, giving more than I care to, and simultaneously not enough. I think I know clarity when you're walking away. You tell me not to write about you or this or that moment, and I whisper I won't with fingers stitched behind back. I've written myself a liar many times. I'll lie and say I can't live without you. You're everything I want. I whisper these sweet lies to you, paint my face blush, and they'll all be to comfort. Let you believe this may be hurting me more than it hurts you, and does that not make you feel better? I'll lie to make you feel better. I'll be the idiot who lost something, all the while being the liar who is free, and all the truths and lies we tell will coexist in the same space until the time comes that I can't lie in poetry like I lie in our bed, and I forget you. And that's me. That's all I got to share with y'all today. This has been fun. This has been cool. See y'all some other time. Oh, where can you buy my book? You can buy my book on Lulu. You can also follow me on Instagram at Cathartic Flower, and I'll put my book link in the little description or something. I don't know, but that's where you can buy it. All right, that's it. Okay, bye y'all.
How much is it?
Oh, it's I forgot. I don't know. Look it up. It's called Accidentally Ordered an Espresso. If you type it in, it'll say Niambi Walker, Niambiwalker. Google is free, y'all. I don't know how it costs. Maybe it's like $15. I don't know. I forgot.
Only $15. We can't afford not to buy it. Thank you. I know for sure I'm gonna check it out. So can we, and someone in the chat said a reasonably priced book, I have to have it. So can we please show maximum love to the feature, just snatching our edges the way they do? I had edges, but now I have to use my hood to cover up my lack of edges because they don't exist anymore. Thank you so much, sibling. Thank you for sharing that. And man, how come my breakup poems are never as good as yours? Drats. Well, we have transitioned into the money round of the slam. So, being a hood parishioner, I'm used to people shooting dice for the money round of something, like playing cards, playing spades for cash, playing bones or something. So the slam game is fun. It's just as fun during the money round. And it will take place in this order. First will be Diana, then Vita, then Kimberly. So, in other words, in the hole is Kimberly. On deck is Living La Vida Loca. And going on stage right now, being born, is Diana.
Let's go,
Yeah.
poet.
Hi again. All right. This one is called Immortal Ama. It is in my book, Healing Out Loud. You can follow me at Off the Clock on Instagram and let me know if you want one. Immortal Ama. No me puedo morir sin tener uno de tus hijos en mis brazos. I cannot die without holding one of your children in my arms. I cannot count the number of times I have heard my mother say this. She said it to my big brother a lot, living as a bachelor in their house in a room with its own entrance. No one stood guard of his virginity or virtue. No one does that to men. He married after strings of girlfriends, and that comment was passed on to me. No me puedo morir sin tener uno de tus hijos en mis brazos. She started to say it right after I got married, like a reminder to remember the objective. So when it took me 3 years to get pregnant, and then I had a miscarriage, and then my marriage ended in divorce, and my body said to me that motherhood was not for me, and my heart eventually came around to agree, she'd say, no, mija. No me puedo morir sin tener uno de tus hijos en mis brazos. Dios tiene la última palabra. God has the final say. But all these roadblocks sounded like final says to me. No me puedo morir sin tener uno de tus hijos en mis brazos. I cannot die without holding one of your children in my arms. Well, every time I hear it, I feel like a daughter-shaped disappointment. The best I can do to deal with this phrase that stings my ears is to remember that as long as I am infertile, she will be immortal. And of all the benefits of not having children, having an immortal mother is definitely one of them, because I could go about my life, just me and my chihuahua, my career, a disposable income, maybe even a lover sometimes, gallivanting with my purpose all over the world, being able to live liberated for the both of us, guarded by my immortal mother's prayers. Prayers like, que todo te salga bien. May everything go well for you. That's it. Simple, powerful, all-encompassing. Bien is good, and todo is a lot of stuff. Todo is everything. Todo is work. Todo is a love life, therapy, healing, raised vibration, self-confidence, self-love, good sex, big orgasms, full confidence in any of the choices that I may make from my gut. Que todo te salga bien, mija. Todo is everything. The only thing strong enough to protect everything are the prayers of an immortal mother. Thank you.
Give it up for the poet. So, Whew. Thank you for sharing that poem, Diana. I guess I got time to make another announcement. If you really like live shows and live streams of shows and, like watching stuff on YouTube, please go to our channel on YouTube, Bay Poets Unite. That is Bay Poets Unite. It's like, we turn poetry into some Avengers like Marvel movie shit. And in a way we have, because we are avenging the fact that there are a lot of incredible Bay Area artists and poets that don't really get a whole lot of shine and don't really have an opportunity to have their work displayed in such a public showcasing fashion. So if you like the poems that you've heard tonight, you can hear them again and again and again and again and again. Just go to Bay Poets Unite on YouTube, where I go to hear some of the dopest poetry that the Bay Area has to offer. And now that I got my shameless plug out the way, I would like to also give a shout out to our Venmo, which is another one of the ways that we do these shows. That is Rich, like Richmond, Oak, like Oakland, and Slam, like da 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 da. Let the boys be boys. So Rich Oak Slam on Venmo. Like, please feel free to donate if you like what you see, because that is how we continue to do the work we do. That's how we pay poets and everything. And okay, I think I got all my shameless plugs out the way. So on deck is, in the hole is finding out who won tonight's slam and who's getting money. On deck is Kimberly, but coming up to the stage right now is Vida Vida. That means make noise, please. Woo!
Yay!
Hi, everyone. Okay, so this poem is called Thoughts of Intimacy. My doors are locked. I am scared of feeling the hands. I try to decipher what the breeze is trying to say through wind chimes. If fear is the lowest vibrational frequency, then it'll be the chimes that will keep me protected. I hang them up in my ribs by their strings to soothe my heart. Hollow. When someone knocks on the door, the entirety of the body echoes boom, boom, boom. And to think that this body, messy with handprints from years of absent-minded decisions and moments taken advantage, is still capable, I am hesitant. There's a feeling of relief now, looking through the window, that it is my love. The chimes will remain from their suspended placements, and I will be ready to answer the door. Thank you.
Give it up for the poet. Woo!
Gang, 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 gang.
Okay, it's late as fuck in some places, so that's acceptable.
Woo!
Even better, even better. The more noise, the better, because this is not easy to do. The previous poet, Diana, received a 26.6. Give it up for the poet.
Woo!
Okay, good stuff, good stuff. On deck is the end of our show and figuring out who won this thing. And before I call up the last poet of the second round, I just wanted to give y'all a reminder that today's show, Oakland Poetry Slam, happens every third Tuesday of the month. We will continue to be online for the next month or so, possibly for the foreseeable future. So, just go on our socials to get more information as to whether or not this show will be in person or online. But for the foreseeable future, for at least the next month or two, it's going to be online. And I'll give you more information about the rest of our shows later. Right now, I need to bless your eardrums with the last poet of the night. So please show maximum love to Kimberly J. Woo!
That's right. Ooh.
At 13, half a bottle of pills away from becoming a family secret, crumbled on morgue-esque floor cold, squeaky toilet seats against the grain of bleach potpourri, mislabeled body. I ain't got no flu. I ain't no love vessel. The pulse does not race for euphoria. Air quickly becomes coughing, blocks out the light that I might see my way out of this darkness. I'm 13. Who can love a child who cannot love as a child? I beg to return to the dirt in which I came. I write my suicide as a love note. Love myself enough to be one with God. That's how they found me, stranded at a dead end metaphor. I just wanted this dead in me to end. Don't feel pretty today. I don't feel alive today. I just feel 13 today. What do you celebrate in the life of a 13-year-old who's yet to live it? So broken and so defeated, but death didn't want me either. At 39, I packaged my trauma into pretty little happy poems. Sounds of blank pages bleeding on stage, not as traumatic as being 13. I write self-love as being alive. I draw on my smile. Even when I feel 13, I'm broken. I scrape back my insides, I patch, I heal, I self-care, I'm confident. I wrestle with the devil and leave him in tears. He knows my name. Runs to tell his mama about the blackity black girl with the SpongeBob hair and the dirty fingernails who clawed her way out of depression, left him with scrapes and bloodshot eyes. I am not your victim. I will not be your trauma poem or your brokenhearted soliloquy. I'm a toddler running with something she's not supposed to have. Cradle the day in palms surrounded by fingertips, comfort, and the intermingling of it all in this new body, purged of the previous day, begin anew.
Woo!
Ow! Prophet, highlight yourself, please. I gotta.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I was just trying to see if y'all could make noise without being prompted, and y'all understood the assignment. Good stuff.
Ow!
Thank you for sharing that poem, Kimberly. And you know what that means? Do y'all? Do you? Do you? That means that the last poet of the slam has spake it. And I also have the score for the previous poet. The previous poet, Vita, received a 26.2. Give it up for the poet, not the score.
Gang, 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 gang.
Sweet. I am glad that y'all were able to make some noise there. So while we were tabulating the scores for both rounds to figure out who won this thing, I'm gonna just go ahead and remind you that once again, every third Tuesday of the month, you can find us here at Oakland Poetry Slam. Every first and third Saturday of the month, we have an awesome open mic, meaning that it's not just poetry, it's every kind of creative art form that you want to express yourself through. Every first and third Saturday, usually at the Allen Bluford Center for Justice, but since the pandemic, it has been online on Instagram, at Rich Oak Alchemy. So if you go to Instagram and go to the profile Rich Oak Alchemy, you will love our IG Live open mic. And also every Wednesday, and I mean every Wednesday, usually at the Starry Plough, but due to the pandemic, it has been online ever since. But every Wednesday, the Berkeley Poetry Slam happens on Facebook Live, on Instagram Live, on YouTube Live. So yeah, just follow us at Berkeley Slam on IG and Twitter for more information about when Berkeley Slam starts. And like I mentioned, Before our open mic every first and third Saturday, we have a writing workshop. Before our third Tuesday poetry slam for Oakland Slam, we have a writing workshop. And also for Berkeley Poetry Slam, one of the flagship shows that we have every Wednesday. Also, Zoom writing workshop. I believe the scores just came in. I appreciate the swiftness with which they were given. I didn't get the round 2 score for Diana though. I don't.
Shout out to the scorekeeper.
Yeah, shout out to the scorekeeper, Colin. And yeah, like I thought this was messaged to me privately, but now everybody in the Zoom sees the score.
By the way, Kimberly got a score of, hold up, I already forgot. A 26.5 last round.
All right, thank you so much. So that means for the people who placed, the top 3 reads as follows. In third place with a 52.3, it was Beta. And second place. And second place with a 53.9, it was Diana.
Yeah.
So that means the winner of today's slam by, ooh, wow, that was hella close. Like 0.3 points. So like 0.3 points. It's a very slim margin of victory. But first place goes to the incredible Kimberly J.
Speech.
It is so hard to kind of get a speech together right now, only because I had a stroke about in 2019, and it affects my my ability to speak. So it's only so long that I can hold on to sounding coherent, and it's starting to go away. But thank you very much. Thank you for giving me this space. That's like the second poem I did was only the second time I've ever done it. So I really appreciate everyone, and I really appreciate y'all having this slam, and I hope to continue to come.
Thank you.
Yeah, please come back. And I'm so glad that you are recovering from your stroke. You are recovering beautifully, even if you may not feel like it some days. But that is our slam. This has been Oakland. I have been your host, Prophet, and I can't thank you enough for coming through and supporting everybody that spit today. For tonight's winner, if you can please send a request to our Cash App or a request to our Venmo, however you want to be paid for your prize money, that would be hugely helpful. So stick around until like you have connected with us for the prize money. And everybody else, this has been Oakland Slam. And once again, I've been your host, Prophet. This has been awesome. I want to thank all the poets. I want to thank the bout manager, Reggie. I want to thank the live streamer, Tino. I want to thank my scorekeeper, Colin. And once again, I want to thank all the poets who blessed our stage with such an incredible, just an incredible string of art, just dope poem after dope poem after dope poet. Like, judges had a very difficult time tonight. And I guess I want to thank the judges because your job was extremely hard tonight. So now that I have sufficiently thanked everyone, please come back tomorrow for Berkeley Slam. Same time, slightly different place. But until mañana, deuces.